So it's like kind of an old cave. We got some, it's actually a big concrete box.
Yeah.
And then we did all natural stone around it.
Man.
All the rock, all dry stacked, no border.
Okay.
So this is like old school stuff that the Incas did, you know.
Yeah, big time, man.
Machu Picchu and
right.
Out in the Egyptians, etc. So no border. It's all how it's all stacked together.
Man.
Hey, welcome back to Parker's Swamp. This video is a clip from a larger video where I toured Aquascape's Aqualand with Ed, the pond professor. It's an amazing video, and if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. The link will be in the description or somewhere up here. It's like a 40-minute video, full tour of their warehouse and everything in it. Ed is the man. He schools me on all sorts of things, environmental and swamp-like, so do check that out. But in this clip, Ed schools me on underground reservoirs and how you can capture your rainwater and then use a bubbler in order to make sure that that's still healthy water that's good for your garden or good for your fish tanks, turtle tanks, whatever. We also go over their dry stacking method. It's like goes back to the Incas and stuff of stacking rocks in order to make buildings. They made a natural man-made cave that goes underneath their man-made waterfall. It's truly amazing, so make sure you watch to the end. And if you guys like this video, again, go watch the full video where we cover everything in the warehouse.
So we got these set up to keep, we got a bunch of dogs that are running around. So. Little outdoor terrace. This is a sustainable feature. This is getting a little bit of worn.
Yeah.
Underneath this patio is a 3,000-gallon tank.
Wow.
So this is permeable pavement. So when rainwater falls on it, there's 12% void space between all these little bricks. Water could seep its way through. There's a rubber membrane going underneath the entire patio.
Oh, man.
So every drop of water that falls on it goes through a layer of limestone, and it goes into an underground tank that's in this corner.
Wow.
Once we have that water captured, we have a little bubbling rock. We could use that water for irrigation. There's actually a frog that lives here full time. He tucks himself under it. I'm probably not going to be there now that I say it.
Just a little green frog?
He pushes himself in between all that stuff, and that's his little, I mean, this, when we talk about a microcosm, like this is his whole house.
Yeah,
he can
right.
go anywhere, but he loves it.
Right.
Because he's got everything. He's got water, he's got bugs that are coming
Yeah,
around
bugs
here.
are coming
It's like
through.
a cool little habitat.
That's so cool.
But the reason I have that bubbling system, so by putting in an underground reservoir, it doesn't actually connect you to the stored water.
Yeah.
So by bringing it to the surface, it makes it biologically available.
Yeah.
Now the pollinators, the bugs, birds, everything could access water.
That's fantastic.
And it keeps the water in a lot better condition because it's being recirculated.
Yeah.
Keeps dissolved oxygen high.
Can they, you were talking about Chicago in our podcast. Chicago's got a huge one of these way down.
Yeah.
Should they do anything like that with the bubbler or anything?
I met with the city of Chicago, actually, with the, what is it called? The Metropolitan Sewage District, MSD. And we talked about doing, so their system that they created is huge.
Right.
The water doesn't
Gigantic.
stay in it that long.
Okay.
So they're going to drain it down because what they don't want to have happen is they get kind of caught in a bad situation when you get back-to-back rains.
Okay.
They can't draw it down
Too
fast
full,
enough.
yeah.
So it's actually too small.
Yeah.
So the tank that they built is, and it took 50 years to build it.
Yeah.
And it cost, I don't know how many billions, it's too small.
Yeah.
So what I proposed to the city was do hundreds of thousands of these little ones
Yeah.
in front of every home. So so what we live in right now is called centralized infrastructure.
Okay.
We have a big grid of stuff that is managed on a larger scale from a municipal standpoint. I would like to do decentralized.
Yeah, man.
Decentralized is the water that falls on your property stays on your property.
Yeah.
And you utilize it how
You want that. That's my water. That's my water.
Exactly.
Since talking with you, I've thought about that. This is my water. I don't want it pumped out to Mexico. I want my water.
Anybody.
Yeah.
So one of the largest dead zones in the world. Are you familiar with the dead zone out in the Gulf of Mexico?
No.
It's another environmental disaster, kind of like the Salton Sea.
Yeah.
It's because of all the rainwater runoff that has been rerouted through the Gulf, up through the Mississippi River, Illinois River.
Yeah.
We're picking up all the agricultural runoff.
Yeah.
So water is really unique. Water is known as the universal solvent. So
Okay.
more things are going to dissolve in water than any other compound on planet Earth. It's
Right.
a dipole. It has a positive and a negative charge.
Okay.
So it's going to pick up all types of fertilizers, pesticides, hydrocarbons, all this stuff that is on our livable world. Cars driving down the road, oil dripping off it, you name it. All that stuff gets washed off, which
Yeah.
is good because
Right.
it keeps our earth clean. But all it does is take it from one place and it puts it in another.
And concentrates it in one spot.
Concentrates it.
Yeah.
So traditionally, like a septic system, it would slowly dissipate into the soil where it could be broken down.
Right.
Now we're overloading the system, and there's a dead zone out in the Gulf of Mexico that's huge.
Jeez.
And no fish can survive.
Man.
No shellfish, no shrimp. The fishing industry is taking a beating.
Yeah.
And you could actually literally watch it grow. It's an anoxic zone.
Yikes.
There's no dissolved oxygen because of all the bacteria and gunk that has been washed down.
Anoxic. Yeah.
It's around every major river around the world. You're going to find one.
Wow.
And that's anthropogenic, so that's man-made.
Right. We got to stop that, man. Get me all worked up.
Don't get me started. I even go more on it.
Yeah.
We'll focus on the beauty.
Yeah.
Outdoor seating, our signature waterfall, but this is my favorite part.
Yeah.
So designing this was a blast. I had a lot of fun. Greg gave me full creativity. I wanted to create this. Again, if you've ever been to Galena, kind of a little hidden area, rocky outcropping, sandstone. That area, so limestone geography is known as karst geology. So rainwater will dissolve away the minerals in the limestone. It's very porous. You can see it actually gets worn. It gets mosses growing all over it. But you're going to find caves in those type of areas.
Yeah.
Because rainwater is going to get funneled through these areas, and it literally dissolves away the rock.
Yeah.
And it leaves pockets.
Holy cow.
So this is designed to mimic
No way.
a natural cave.
What?
And if it gets hot enough, and if you have your bathing suit, I was sitting there last week, literally.
Man.
We actually created this as a weeping wall specifically.
Yeah.
So
You got moss.
the river system that goes over.
Yeah.
We actually made holes in the rubber liner. We're stealing a small portion of the water, and we dribbled it in to create this weeping effect. And this is what you would see in a natural cave.
Right.
In the wintertime, there's a massive ice formation that comes
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Insane.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Meant to look like kind of an old cave. We got it's actually a big concrete box.
Yeah.
And then we did all natural stone around it.
Man.
All the rock, all dry stack, no mortar.
Okay.
So this is like old school stuff that the Incas did, you know.
Yeah, big time, man.
Machu Picchu and
Right.
out in the Egyptians, etc. So no mortar. It's all how it's all stacked together.
Man, that's awesome.